If this is your first time here, let me catch you up real quick. Part 1 was about Kim Ji-hoon, a cold, broken Korean Mafia boss in a wheelchair who hadn't smiled in 2 years. Then Destiny Brooks walked in, a broke, loud, hilarious black nanny with $11 and zero fear. She called him emotionally constipated to his face, and somehow she healed him. They fell in love. She gave up her London scholarship to stay. Part 2 brought Destiny's entire family to Korea. Mama Brooks, Daddy Brooks, Uncle Ray with his seasoning cooler, Big Mama with her inspections. They took over Ji-hoon's mansion, traumatized his chef, and made fried chicken so good even Grandma Kim called it acceptable. Ji-hoon earned the family's blessing. But y'all been loud in those comments. I heard you. I see you. You wanted Keisha, the voice behind that emotionally constipated and fine phone call. Well, she's here. And there's a surprise at the end you do not want to miss. Welcome to Part 3. Let's go.
You know that one friend whose phone call you should never put on loudspeaker? Yeah, that was Keisha. Keisha Monique Williams was not just a best friend. She was a Category 5 hurricane wrapped in Gucci and audacity. This woman grew up rich, stayed rich, and never learned the meaning of the word no. Her daddy owned 6 car dealerships in Atlanta. Her mama owned a beauty supply chain that stretched across 3 states. Keisha owned everyone's patience and nobody's respect. Destiny was in the kitchen making breakfast when her phone rang. She saw the name. She should have known better. She really should have. But her hands were covered in pancake batter, so she hit loudspeaker. Biggest mistake of her life. Destiny Monique Brooks, full government name, at 7 a.m. on loudspeaker in a mansion full of nosy people. Destiny lunged for the phone. Too late. Girl, I have been waiting for you to call me back. It's been 3 days. 3 days. You out there in Korea living your little K-drama fantasy and forgot about your best friend? The one who held your hair when you threw up at prom? The one who lied to your mama when you snuck out to see Darius? Darius, Destiny, I committed crimes for you, and this is how you repay me? Silence? Destiny grabbed the phone, fumbling, batter everywhere. Keisha, you're on speaker. I don't care if I'm on the news. We need to talk about this wheelchair man. Ji-hoon, who had just wheeled into the kitchen, froze. Mr. Park, who was pouring coffee, also froze. Sue, who was eating cereal, looked up with maximum interest. Destiny wanted to dissolve into the floor. Keisha kept going. Because I have been doing research. I Googled him. Do you know this man has a Wikipedia page? A Wikipedia page, Destiny. It says he's dangerous. It says he has connections. It says, Keisha, I will call you back. No, you won't. You're a liar. You've been a liar since the 3rd grade when you said you didn't eat my fruit snacks and I found the wrapper in your desk. I have trust issues because of you. Ji-hoon's eyebrow raised. Fruit snacks? Destiny spun around, eyes wide, face on fire. It was one time. Sue tilted her head. You stole food? That's illegal. I was 8. Keisha gasped through the phone. Oh my God, is that him? Is that the wheelchair man? Put me on video. I want to see his face. I want to see if he's actually fine or if you've just been in Korea too long and your standards dropped. Mr. Park choked on his coffee. Ji-hoon's face remained unreadable, but his jaw twitched. Did she just say my standards might be the dropped ones? Destiny was sweating. Keisha, I'm hanging up now. Don't you dare. I have more questions. Does he have a brother, a cousin, a rich uncle? You can't be the only one winning, Destiny. That's selfish. I taught you better than that. Sue, completely unbothered, slurped her cereal. I like her. Ji-hoon looked at his daughter. You don't even know her. She's loud like Destiny. Loud people are funny. Mr. Park muttered under his breath. Loud people are exhausting. Keisha heard that. Of course she heard that. Who said that? Who was the hater? Destiny, do you have haters in that house? In this economy? Put them on. I want to talk. Destiny finally found the button. She hung up. The kitchen fell silent. She stood there, batter on her hands, shame on her face, and her entire reputation in ruins. Ji-hoon wheeled closer, slowly, deliberately, eyes locked on hers. Fruit snacks? We don't need to discuss this. 3rd grade? Destiny? A wrapper in the desk? I was going through something. Sue giggled. Mr. Park suddenly found his coffee very interesting. Ji-hoon's mouth twitched. And then Destiny's phone buzzed. A text from Keisha. I'm coming to Korea tomorrow. Surprise! Start cleaning. Destiny stared at the message, then at Ji-hoon, then at the ceiling. Lord, if you're testing me, I need you to know I'm about to fail. Ji-hoon read the text over her shoulder. His face went pale. She's coming here? She's coming here. Silence. Mr. Park set his coffee down. I'm gonna need a vacation. Sue grinned. I'm gonna need popcorn. And Destiny needed a miracle because Keisha Monique Williams was about to land in Korea, and nobody was ready.
Before we get to the chaos at the airport, you need to understand something about Destiny and Keisha. They weren't cousins, not by blood anyway, but if you ask Destiny's mama, Miss Patricia Brooks, she'd tell you different. That's my daughter too, she'd say, pointing at Keisha. I fed her, I raised her, I threatened her when she got out of line. That's my child. And she wasn't lying. Keisha Monique Williams grew up in a mansion with everything except the one thing that mattered, parents who were home. Her daddy was always at the dealership, her mama was always at conferences. The nanny rotated every 6 months because Keisha kept running them off. So Keisha did what any lonely rich kid would do. She adopted a best friend's family. Destiny Monique Brooks lived in a house with creaky floors, mismatched furniture, and a mama who cooked enough food to feed a small army every single night. There was always room for one more plate. Always. By age 10, Keisha had her own drawer at the Brooks house, her own toothbrush, her own spot at the dinner table. Miss Patricia didn't even ask anymore. She just set the plate. Keisha coming tonight? She's already here, Mama. Of course she is. They shared everything. Clothes, secrets, the same middle name, which they decided meant they were spiritually twins, separated at birth by terrible hospital administration. Monique is a bond, Destiny. It's deeper than blood. Girl, that's just a name our mamas liked. Don't ruin this for me. They had sleepovers that lasted entire weekends. They made up dances in the living room and forced Destiny's little cousins to be the audience. They stayed up late whispering about boys they'd never talked to and lives they'd never lived. Keisha would sleep over so often that one time Destiny's Uncle Ray asked, "When Keisha moving out?" And Miss Patricia smacked him with a dish towel. "That's my child. Don't start." The girls were inseparable, matching trouble, double chaos. If one got grounded, the other showed up anyway and got grounded too out of solidarity. "Miss Patricia, can I stay for dinner?" "Keisha, you're grounded too now. Sit down." "For what?" "For being here. You're guilty by association." And when Keisha's parents missed her birthdays, forgot recitals, or didn't show up to school events, Miss Patricia was there, front row, camera ready, loud and embarrassing, just like she was for Destiny. So no, they weren't cousins. They were something deeper, something the world didn't have a word for. Two girls, same middle name, same bad decisions, same love. The kind of friendship that survives decades, distance, and one of them moving to Korea for a man in a wheelchair. And now, Keisha Monique Williams was about to land in Seoul, and Destiny Monique Brooks was absolutely terrified because nostalgia was sweet, but Keisha in real life, that was survival mode.
Incheon Airport had survived a lot. North-South tension, economic crises, the Brooks family invasion 3 weeks ago when Uncle Ray brought a cooler full of seasoning through customs like he was smuggling government secrets. But Keisha Monique Williams, the airport wasn't ready. She came through those arrival gates like she'd personally funded the building. 6 Louis Vuitton suitcases, not bags, suitcases, monogrammed, color-coordinated, rolling behind her like obedient children. And the coat, Lord, the coat, full-length fur, in July, in Korea, where it was 90 degrees and the sun was personally offended by her audacity. Destiny saw her first. "Oh no," Ji-hoon looked up. "What? She's wearing the coat." "What coat?" "The coat. The one her mama bought her when she graduated college. The one she wears when she wants to make a statement." "What's the statement?" "I'm rich, you're not, and I'd like to speak to your manager." Ji-hoon's eyes went wide. "That's the statement? That's the energy." Mr. Park, standing nearby, whispered a prayer in Korean. A bodyguard crossed himself. Even Sue looked concerned. "Destiny!" The entire terminal turned. A Korean family froze mid-photo. A businessman dropped his coffee. An old woman clutched her pearls like Kesha had just announced a robbery. Kesha strutted over, heels clicking so loud they sounded like a countdown to destruction. She grabbed Destiny and hugged her so violently Destiny's spine made a noise. "Girl, you glow. Korea is treating you right. Must be that Mafia wellness plan." "Kesha, people are staring. Let them stare. I paid for this face. They're getting a free show." She released Destiny, turned and rocked eyes on Ji-hoon. Silence. Long, dangerous silence. She lowered her sunglasses, looked him up, looked him down, looked him up again like she was appraising a luxury car. "Oh," she said. Destiny braced herself. "Oh, wow. Kesha, don't." "No, no, no. Hush. Let me look." She circled him, fully circled like a shark, like a lawyer, like a mama inspecting her daughter's prom date in 1987. She stopped in front of him, tilted her head, the jaw, the shoulders, the tattoo, the whole wheelchair aesthetic. She spun to Destiny. You said emotionally constipated. You did not say fine constipated. There's a difference, Destiny, a legal difference. Ji-hoon blinked. I don't know if I should be offended or you should be flattered, baby. I don't give compliments, I give assessments. You passed, barely. Mr. Park leaned toward a bodyguard. Is she always like this? The bodyguard whispered back. I think this is her being nice. Sue tugged on Kesha's coat from below. Kesha looked down and gasped like she just discovered treasure. Oh my God, this is the baby? Sue nodded. Kesha dropped to her knees, fur coat pooling around her like a Disney villain mid-monologue. Hi, Angel. I'm your Auntie Kesha. I brought you 7 presents. Sue's face lit up. 7? 7, because you're special and because your daddy can afford it. Sue turned to Ji-hoon, completely serious. I like her. She stays. Ji-hoon closed his eyes. The last time someone said that, the Brooks family took over his kitchen, terrorized his chef, and made fried chicken that gave him a spiritual awakening. History wasn't just repeating, it was upgraded.
Dinner was supposed to be peaceful, elegant, a nice welcome meal for Keisha. It lasted exactly 4 minutes before Sue destroyed everything. Auntie Keisha, Sue said, chewing her rice with the confidence of someone about to commit a crime. Who's Darius? Destiny choked on her water, actually choked. Ji-hoon had to pat her back while she coughed, like her lungs were filing for divorce. Keisha's face lit up like Christmas morning. Oh baby, let me tell you about Darius. Keisha, don't you dare! Darius Coleman was Destiny's first boyfriend, 11th grade, baseball player, had a car that broke down every 2 weeks but somehow thought he was smooth. Ji-hoon set his fork down, slowly, deliberately, his full attention now on Keisha like she was presenting a business proposal he was very interested in acquiring. Go on, he said. Mr. Park closed his eyes. He knew where this was going. He wanted no part of it. Keisha leaned back in her chair, fully in storytelling mode now. This man wrote Destiny a love letter, a full love letter, 2 pages, front and back. Sue gasped. That's so many words. It was, and baby, he misspelled beautiful. B-E-A-U-T-I-L-L-U, 2 L's, confidently. Ji-hoon's jaw twitched. He misspelled it? Terribly, but Destiny kept that letter in her diary for 3 years like it was the Declaration of Independence. Destiny buried her face in her hands. I hate you so much right now. You love me. Anyway, Destiny used to sneak out her bedroom window at 2 a.m. to meet this man, climb out like she was in a movie. One time she got stuck halfway and I had to put her back inside by her ankles. Sue's mouth fell open. You snuck out? I was 16 and stupid. Stupid is right, because her mama found the letter one day, just sitting on her desk, out in the open. Destiny's face went pale. Keisha, don't. Miss Patricia read that letter out loud at the dinner table, in front of the whole family. Uncle Ray laughed so hard he choked on his cornbread. Ji-hoon was trying not to smile, trying, failing. Destiny looked at him. You think this is funny? I think it's incredibly funny. That night wasn't funny at all, Destiny muttered. Mama grounded me for a month, took my phone, made me write an apology letter to Jesus. Keisha howled. I forgot about the Jesus letter. Mr. Park whispered to a bodyguard. What is happening? The bodyguard whispered back. I don't know, but I'm learning a lot about Miss Brooks. Ji-hoon leaned back, arms crossed, looking entirely too smug. So, Darius. Destiny glared. He's nobody. He was somebody once. He sells insurance in Tennessee now. He's gained 50 pounds and has 3 kids. Ji-hoon visibly relaxed. Destiny caught it immediately. Wait, are you jealous? No. You are! Oh my God, you're jealous of a man who can't spell. Keisha slammed the table. I knew it! Look at his jaw. It's doing that thing. Sue tilted her head. What thing? The thing men do when they're trying not to show feelings, but their face snitches on them anyway. Ji-hoon stood up. Well, wheeled back. Same energy. I'm not jealous. I'm going to my office. Destiny grinned. Running away, wheelchair man? He stopped, turned, looked her dead in the eyes. I don't run, and for the record, I spell perfectly. He left. The table sat in silence. Then Keisha leaned over to Destiny and whispered, Girl, that man is down bad. Destiny tried to hide her smile. She failed, too.
The next morning, Keisha found Sue in the garden at 7 a.m., sitting on a bench with her arms crossed like a CEO about to fire the entire board.
Auntie Keisha, we have a problem.
Keisha sat down, coffee in hand, silk robe flowing.
What kind of problem, baby?
Sue looked around like the CIA was listening. Then she leaned in.
Daddy and Destiny like each other, but they're being stupid.
Keisha gasped so loud a gardener dropped his shears.
Finally, someone in this house who gets it.
I've been trying to get them together for months, Sue said, face full of betrayal. I locked them in places. I made them sit together. I even faked nightmares. Nightmares, Auntie Keisha. Do you know how hard it is to fake cry at 2 a.m.? Keisha's hand flew to her chest. Baby, you've been running Operation Solo? I'm only 5. I need backup. Keisha knelt down, looked Sue dead in the eyes, and said the words that would change everything. Baby girl, you just recruited a professional. They shook hands. Operation Make Them Kiss Already was officially born. Scheme 1, the locked garden. 20 minutes later, Destiny was dragged outside by Keisha under the excuse of needing fresh air and girl talk. Ji-hoon was lured out by Sue, claiming she saw a cool bug. The gate clicked shut behind them. Destiny spun around. Keisha! Sue! I know you're out there! Sue's little voice floated from the bushes. The lock is broken. Very sad. Technological failure. You'll have to wait together. Ji-hoon sighed, long and exhausted. My own daughter. Betrayed by my own blood. Destiny banged on the gate. You're 5. You don't know how locks work. I'm advanced. Ji-hoon looked at Destiny. She gets that from you. Excuse me? The scheming, the chaos, the complete disregard for boundaries. Destiny crossed her arms. I have excellent boundaries. You moved into my house uninvited and declared you lived here. You literally employed me. I have a contract. You signed it with your name. There were witnesses. Ji-hoon paused. That's technically accurate. Thank you. They sat on the garden bench, close, too close. Destiny's voice went quiet. Can I ask you something? Always. Do you ever regret it? Me being here? Ji-hoon turned to her, face fully. Never. Even when I'm loud? Even when I open all your curtains and play Beyoncé at 8 a.m. and argue with your chef about seasoning? Especially then. Her eyes got glossy. I'm scared sometimes. Of what? That I'm not enough. That one day you'll wake up and realize I'm just a broke girl with big earrings, pretending to fit into your world. Ji-hoon's voice dropped, firm and certain. You're not pretending. You're the realest thing in my life. She looked at him, really looked at him. He leaned closer. She stopped breathing. Their faces were inches apart, and the elevator doors exploded open. Mr. Park stood there, drenched in sweat. Sir, are you okay? Ji-hoon didn't move, didn't blink, just whispered, Mr. Park, your timing is a curse. Scheme 2, the movie night. That evening, Keisha announced a mandatory movie night. Family bonding, she called it. Psychological warfare, Mr. Park called it. The living room was freezing, arctic, glacial, the kind of cold that made you question if the AC was possessed. Why is it so cold? Destiny asked, rubbing her arms. I like it crisp, keeps you alert. There was one blanket on the couch, one, a massive, soft, very romantic blanket. Where are the other blankets? Ji-hoon asked. Washing day, Keisha said, not even trying to sound believable. All of them. Very unfortunate timing. Destiny squinted. All of them? Every single one. Destiny and Ji-hoon sat on opposite ends of the couch. The blanket sat between them, like a peace treaty neither wanted to sign first. Sue wiggled between them, grabbed the blanket, and wrapped herself like a burrito. This is mine now. 10 minutes into the movie, Sue yawned, loudly, dramatically. I'm so sleepy, she announced to no one in particular. Keisha appeared from nowhere. Oh no, baby, let me take you to bed. But I'm not. Keisha stooped her up. You're exhausted. Look at you, barely conscious. Let's go. Sue, being carried away, mouthed to Ji-hoon, You're welcome. Now it was just Destiny and Ji-hoon and the blanket. Destiny pulled it over her lap. Ji-hoon did the same. Their shoulders touched. Neither moved.
From the hallway, Keisha was standing eating popcorn, whispering commentary to a horrified Mr. Park. "This is inappropriate," he hissed. Keisha grinned. "This is cinema." Scheme 3, the elevator. The next morning, Keisha convinced the head of security to test the mansion elevator. "Routine maintenance," she said sweetly. "Safety first." Destiny and Ji-hoon got in. The doors closed and didn't open. The lights dimmed. Romantic music started playing from somewhere. Destiny looked up. "Is that a speaker?" Ji-hoon closed his eyes. "Sue!" They were stuck, close, alone. Destiny laughed shakily. "This is ridiculous." "Agreed." But neither of them moved away. Destiny's voice dropped. "If we were actually stuck, what would you do?" Ji-hoon turned to her. "The truth is that I've been in love with you since the day you called me emotionally constipated." Her breath caught. "You're right," he continued. "I was, but you opened me up, fixed me." Tears filled her eyes. "Ji-hoon." He cupped her face, leaned in. The elevator doors exploded open. Mr. Park stood there, drenched in sweat. "Sir, are you okay?" Ji-hoon didn't move, didn't blink, just whispered, "Mr. Park, your timing is a curse."
Keisha couldn't sleep. Jet lag was beating her like she owed it money. She tried everything, counting sheep, scrolling her phone, reorganizing her suitcase by color. Nothing worked. So she wandered. The mansion at 2 a.m. was a different place, quiet, still, almost peaceful. She passed the kitchen, the library, the sitting room nobody sat in. Then she heard it, a sound, faint, coming from down the hall. She followed it to a door she'd never noticed before. It was cracked open just slightly. Light spilled out. She peeked inside, and her heart stopped. Ji-hoon was standing out of his wheelchair, gripping the parallel bars with white knuckles, his whole body shaking from the effort. He took a step, one, his face twisted in pain. Then another. His leg gave out. He fell, hard. Keisha's hand flew to her mouth to stop the gasp. But he didn't stay down. He pulled himself back up, tried again. Keisha's tears streamed down Keisha's face. She'd never seen anything like this kind of determination, this kind of pain, this kind of love. Because that's what this was, love. He fell again, harder this time. Keisha gasped, out loud. Ji-hoon's head snapped toward the door. "How long have you been standing there?" Keisha wiped her face, stepped inside. "Long enough." She sat on the floor next to him, not caring about her expensive pajamas or the fact that she was crying in front of a man she'd only met yesterday. "Does Destiny know?" He shook his head, breathing hard. "I want to surprise her." "Surprise her how?" Ji-hoon was quiet for a long moment, then his voice came out soft, certain. "When I propose, I want to stand. I want to walk to her. She came all the way into my life. The least I can do is take a few steps toward her." Keisha lost it, full, ugly cry, mascara running, no dignity left. "You can't just say things like that," she sobbed. "I'm wearing $300 lashes." Ji-hoon almost smiled. "You can't tell her." "I won't," Keisha sniffed. "But you need to hurry up because I'm terrible at keeping secrets, like criminally bad. I once ruined a surprise party 15 minutes after I found out about it." Ji-hoon actually laughed. Keisha stood, held out her hand. "Come on, let's try again." He looked at her hand, then took it. She supported him as he stood, slowly, painfully. "You really love her," Keisha said. "More than anything." "Good." Keisha's voice turned deadly serious. "Because if you hurt her, wheelchair or not, I will end you. I know people, rich people, people who make problems disappear." Ji-hoon met her eyes. "I believe you." They smiled, an understanding, mutual respect. Keisha Monique Williams had just become Ji-hoon's secret ally, and God help anyone who got in their way.
Keisha woke up the next morning and decided she was going to die. Not from disease, not from old age, from holding a secret. The biggest, most romantic, most devastating secret of her entire life. And Keisha Monique Williams had the secret-keeping abilities of a toddler with a mouthful of candy. At breakfast, she was twitching, eye twitching, hand twitching. Her leg was bouncing under the table so hard the dishes rattled. Destiny looked at her. "Girl, why do you look like you're hiding a body?" Keisha's fork clattered to her plate. "What? A body? I don't know anything about bodies. I've never seen a body. Why would you say body? That's a weird word. Body." Destiny blinked. "Are you having a stroke?"
No, I'm fine. This bacon is amazing. Is this bacon? Tastes like bacon, smells like bacon, probably bacon. Mr. Park whispered to a bodyguard. She's unraveling. Then Destiny said the worst possible sentence. I've been thinking about the future a lot lately. Keisha's brain short-circuited. Her mouth opened. Words fell out. You'll be walking into that future real soon. Dead silence. Destiny's head tilted. What? Keisha panicked. Talking. I said talking. Communication. Very important for futures. You know, talking with mouth and words. Destiny squinted. Are you okay? Fine. Never better. This coffee is excellent. 5 stars. Gotta go. Bye. She ran out of the room like her chair was on fire. Sue watched her leave, chewing her cereal slowly. Auntie Keisha is bad at secrets. Ji-hun almost choked on his tea. Day 2. Later that day, Keisha dragged Destiny shopping. Girl time, she said. Bonding. Therapy. They passed the jewelry store. Keisha stopped, like her soul left her body and forgot to come back. She stared at the jewelry rings in the window. Her mouth opened. Her eyes got misty. Destiny waved a hand in front of her face. Hello, Earth to Keisha. These rings, Keisha whispered. What about them? They're so architectural. Destiny looked at the jewelry store, then at Keisha, then back at the store. Keisha, it's a jewelry store. Exactly. The way they display those diamonds, genius. Look at the lighting, the angles, the geometry. Destiny grabbed her shoulders. You are being so weird. Keisha wanted to scream. She wanted to grab Destiny and yell, your man is learning to walk so he can propose to you, and I'm dying inside. But instead, she said, I just really appreciate fine craftsmanship. You sell cars, Keisha. Cars have craftsmanship too. Day 3. At dinner, Ji-hun casually said, I have a meeting tomorrow. Keisha choked on wine, violently. Mr. Park had to hit her back while she coughed like her lungs were filing for unemployment. Destiny stared. What is wrong with you? Keisha wheezing. Nothing. Wine. Wrong pipe. Or right pipe. Do we have multiple pipes? I don't know my anatomy. Sue whispered to Ji-hun. Daddy, I think Auntie Keisha is broken. Ji-hun whispered back. I think you're right. Hours later, Sue cornered Keisha in the hallway. Auntie Keisha. Keisha jumped. Child, do you walk or do you float? You're like a tiny ghost. Sue crossed her arms. What are you hiding? Nothing. Sue's eyes narrowed. You're a bad liar, worse than Destiny, and Destiny tried to convince Grandma she didn't eat the last piece of cake with frosting on her face. Keisha cracked. She broke. She knelt down. If I tell you, you have to promise not to say anything. Sue's face went serious. I promise. Keisha leaned in, whispered, your daddy is learning to walk again for Destiny. He's going to propose. Sue's eyes went wide, like dinner plate wide. She whispered back, does he have a ring? Keisha froze. I don't know. Sue's little jaw set. We need to find out. Keisha grinned. Operation Wedding? Sue nodded, dead serious. Operation Wedding. They shook hands, and in his office, Ji-hun had no idea that a 5-year-old and a 28-year-old rich girl with zero chill had just formed the most dangerous alliance in the history of this mansion. God help him.
The next morning, Keisha and Sue held an emergency meeting in the garden at 6 a.m. Sue arrived with a notebook, an actual notebook, with a pen. Keisha stared. Baby, you're 5. Why do you have office supplies? I'm prepared. Now, mission objective. Find out if Daddy has a ring. Keisha saluted. Affirmative, Captain. Don't call me Captain. Call me Commander. You're terrifying. I know. Step 1. Interrogate Mr. Park. Keisha found Mr. Park in his office, sorting through files like a man who'd given up on happiness years ago. She leaned against the doorframe. Mr. Park, hypothetically, if someone wanted to buy an engagement ring in Seoul, where would they go? Mr. Park's pen stopped mid-air. He looked up slowly. Why are you asking? Research for a friend in America who's also buying a ring. Totally unrelated. Different continent, different situation. Mr. Park's eyes narrowed. Miss Keisha, what are you planning? A plant in the corner moved. Sue's little voice came from behind it. Tell us, Mr. Park. Mr. Park screamed. Actually screamed. His coffee went flying. Keisha pointed at the plant. Why is there a child in your office? Sue stepped out, arms crossed. I'm covert. Mr. Park clutched his chest. I'm too old for this. I'm 53. My heart can't take. The ring, Mr. Park, Sue said coldly. Where is it? Mr. Park looked between them, 2 sets of eyes, 2 levels of unhinged. He cracked. I don't know if he has a ring. He doesn't tell me everything. Keisha and Sue exchanged looks. Sue whispered, he's lying. Definitely lying. Mr. Park stood up. "I'm not lying, and if I was, I wouldn't tell you two because you're clearly up to something and I want no part of it." He walked out. Keisha looked at Sue. Plan B. I like Plan B. Step 2. Search Ji-hoon's office. They waited until Ji-hoon left for a meeting, then they struck. Keisha rifled through drawers, business files, contracts, a tablet, 17 pens. Who needs 17 pens? Sue checked under the desk. Nothing, just dust. What kind of psychopath? Focus, Auntie Keisha. Right, focus. No ring. Sue stood up. Maybe it's in his bedroom. Keisha froze. We are not breaking into his bedroom. Why not? Because that's insane. Sue tilted her head. You literally locked him in the garden yesterday. Keisha opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. That's a fair point. Step 3. The bedroom infiltration. Ji-hoon's bedroom was massive, clean, organized. It smelled like cologne and expensive life choices. Keisha whispered, "This room has an aura." Sue checked the nightstand. Nothing. Keisha opened the closet. Suits, more suits, a drawer full of watches. Then Sue found it, a small wooden box hidden in the back of a drawer. She opened it. Inside, a ring, beautiful, elegant, custom-made, perfect. Keisha's hand flew to her mouth. "Oh my God," Sue whispered. "He's really going to do it." Footsteps, close footsteps. Keisha's eyes went wide. Abort! Abort! They slammed the box shut, shoved it back, and dove under the bed. The door opened. Ji-hoon wheeled in, sat there for a moment in the silence. Then he opened the drawer, took out the ring, stared at the ring. Under the bed, Keisha and Sue were holding their breath, not breathing, possibly dying. Ji-hoon whispered to himself, "Soon." He put it back, left, the door closed. Keisha and Sue lay there in silence. Then Keisha whispered, "That was the most romantic thing I've ever seen, and I'm terrified." Sue whispered back, "We're in too deep, way too deep." They crawled out, covered in dust, traumatized. Later, Sue asked the question, "When is he going to propose?" Keisha shook her head. "I don't know. Should we help him?" "Absolutely not. We've meddled enough." Sue's face went serious. "But what if he's too scared?" Keisha paused. "You think he's scared? He's been holding that ring for weeks, Auntie Keisha. He's terrified." Keisha's eyes narrowed. "Then we need a new plan." "What kind of plan?" Keisha grinned. "The kind that forces his hand."
Grandma Kim arrived at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. No warning, no phone call, just a black car pulling up and a woman stepping out like she owned the oxygen in Seoul. Mr. Park saw her through the window and whispered, "May God have mercy on us all." She walked into the foyer, looked around, sniffed the air like a predator detecting weakness. "Where is everyone?" A maid appeared, bowing so low she was practically horizontal. "They're in the sitting room, ma'am." "Good. I need to inspect something." The maid didn't ask what. Nobody ever asked Grandma Kim what. The sitting room went silent when Grandma Kim entered. Destiny froze mid-sentence. Ji-hoon straightened in his wheelchair. Sue stopped coloring. And Keisha, who had been lying on the couch eating grapes like a Roman emperor, sat up slowly. Grandma Kim's eyes locked on her. "So, you're the loud friend." Keisha stood up, brushed crumbs off her designer sweatpants. "So, you're the scary mother-in-law." They stared at each other. The room held its breath. Mr. Park whispered to a bodyguard, "This is how wars start." The bodyguard whispered back, "Should we evacuate?" Then Grandma Kim's mouth twitched, slightly, barely, but it moved. "I like you. You have spine." Keisha grinned. "I like you too. You have energy." They nodded at each other, mutual respect, instant alliance. Destiny looked at Ji-hoon. "Are they bonding?" Ji-hoon pale. "I think so. Should we be worried?" "Absolutely." At dinner that night, Grandma Kim sat at the head of the table like a judge presiding over a trial. She watched. She observed. She saw Ji-hoon's eyes follow Destiny every time she laughed. She saw Keisha and Sue whispering and then going silent when anyone looked at them. She saw Mr. Park stress-eating bread rolls like his life depended on it. She set down her teacup. The sound echoed like a gavel. Something is happening in this house. Everyone froze. Forks stopped mid-air. Breathing stopped. Time itself considered quitting.
Grandma Kim's eyes swept the table. I don't know what, but I will find out. Keisha's eye twitched. Sue's face went blank, too blank, suspiciously blank. Mr. Park shoved an entire roll into his mouth. Grandma Kim's gaze lingered on Keisha. Especially you. Keisha's voice came out 2 octaves higher than normal. Me? I don't know anything. I'm just a guest, a simple, innocent guest, who's here to support my best friend, and definitely not hiding any life-changing secrets. Destiny squinted. Why did you say it like that? Like what? Like you're in a police interrogation? I'm not. Grandma Kim smiled, slowly, dangerously. Interesting. Later that night, Keisha was trying to sneak to her room when a voice came from the shadows. Miss Williams. Keisha screamed. Grandma Kim stepped into the hallway light, holding a teacup like a weapon. We need to talk. Keisha's back hit the wall. About what? You're hiding something. I'm not. Grandma Kim took a step closer. You're a terrible liar. Your eye twitches. Keisha slapped a hand over her eye. It does not. It's twitching right now. That's a muscle spasm. I have a condition. Grandma Kim raised one perfect eyebrow. Tell me what you know, or I'll ask the child, and children can't lie to me. Keisha crumbled like a cookie in milk. Fine. She threw her hands up. Ji-hoon is learning to walk again. He has a ring. He's going to propose, but he's scared, and we're trying to help, but we don't know how. And now you're here, and I feel like I'm about to be arrested. Silence. Long, terrifying silence. Then Grandma Kim smiled, a real smile. Leave it to me. Keisha blinked. Wait, you're not mad? Mad? I'm thrilled. My son is finally doing something with his life besides brooding and running companies. So you're going to help? Grandma Kim's smile turned sharp. Oh, I'm going to do more than help. The next morning, Grandma Kim summoned Ji-hoon to the tea room. He wheeled in cautiously. Mother, you wanted to see me? She poured tea slowly, deliberately, like she was preparing to ruin his life. When are you going to ask her? Ji-hoon's hand froze on his wheelchair. Ask who what? Grandma Kim's eyes snapped to his. Don't insult my intelligence. I know about the ring. I know about the walking. I know everything. How? I'm your mother. I know when you're scheming. Now answer the question. When? Ji-hoon was silent. Then quietly, I don't know. I want it to be perfect. Grandma Kim set her teacup down, hard. Perfect doesn't exist, Ji-hoon, but love does, and that girl loves you. Stop being a coward. His jaw tightened. I'm not a coward. Then prove it. Silence. She stood, smoothed her dress. I'm hosting a family dinner 3 days from now. You, Destiny, Keisha, Sue, Mr. Park, everyone. Ji-hoon's eyes widened. Mother, this is your moment, Ji-hoon. Use it or lose it. She walked out. Ji-hoon sat there, heart pounding. His mother had just forced his hand. He had 3 days to prepare the most important moment of his life, and somehow he'd never been more terrified or more ready.
The day of the dinner, Destiny woke up to Keisha standing over her bed like a sleep paralysis demon. Get up, we have work to do. Keisha, it's a dinner. It's Grandma Kim's dinner. That woman can smell effort, or lack of it. Move! An hour later, Destiny stood in front of the mirror in a red dress that made her look like she could start wars and end them. Keisha's eyes got misty. My best friend is all grown up. Destiny turned. Girl, what is wrong with you today? Keisha wiped her eyes. Nothing, just, I love you, that's all. Destiny hugged her hard. I love you too, Monique. Don't make me cry. I'm wearing $300 lashes. Downstairs, Ji-hoon was in the therapy room, alone. He gripped the parallel bars, took a step, then another, then 5 more. 10 steps total. His legs screamed, his body shook, but he didn't stop. Mr. Park stood in the doorway, tears streaming down his face. Sir, you're ready. Ji-hoon pulled the ring box from his pocket, stared at it. This is it. Mr. Park's voice cracked. She's going to say yes.
How do you know? Because I've watched that woman look at you for months like you hung the moon, sir. She loves you more than anything. Ji-hoon closed the box, nodded. Then let's not keep her waiting. The dining room looked like something out of a fairy tale. Candles everywhere, flowers, soft music. Destiny walked in and stopped. This is Grandma Kim. Why does this look like a wedding? Grandma Kim sipped her tea. I believe in excellence. Keisha, too loud. Because we love you so much. Sue nodded like a bobblehead. So much. Destiny squinted at all of them. Y'all are acting weird. Dinner passed in a blur. Ji-hoon barely touched his food. His hand kept drifting to his pocket. Destiny touched his hand under the table. You okay? He looked at her, really looked, like he was memorizing her face. I'm thinking about how lucky I am. Her heart flipped. Ji-hoon. After dessert, Grandma Kim stood. The room went silent. My son has something to say. Destiny's eyes went wide. What's happening? Ji-hoon gripped his wheelchair, took a breath, and stood up. Destiny's hands flew to her mouth. Tears exploded from her eyes. He took a step, then another. He was walking. Ji-hoon, she sobbed. He kept walking towards her, shaking but strong. He reached her, standing right in front of her. His hand trembled as he pulled the ring box out, opened it. The ring sparkled like a promise. Destiny Monique Brooks. His voice was steady now, certain. You walked into my life uninvited, opened my curtains, played Beyoncé at 8 a.m., called me emotionally constipated. She laughed through sobs. You brought my daughter back to life. You brought me back. I was broken. You didn't fix me. You just loved me anyway. His voice cracked, and that changed everything. He dropped to one knee. Will you marry me? She couldn't speak, could only nod, sobbing, shaking. Yes, yes, 1,000 times, yes. He slid the ring on. She pulled him up, kissed him. Finally, the room exploded. Sue screamed, Operation Success! Keisha ugly cried into a napkin. I knew it! Mr. Park sobbed into his sleeve. Grandma Kim smiled. Even the bodyguards clapped. Later, after the chaos settled, Sue tugged at Destiny's dress. Can we have the wedding in Mississippi, where Big Mama lives? Destiny's eyes filled again. You want that? Sue nodded. I want to be part of your whole family. Ji-hoon touched her hand. Then we'll have it in Mississippi. Keisha gasped. We're taking the Korean Mafia to the deep south. Mr. Park went pale. Grandma Kim raised her teacup. I've always wanted to see Mississippi. Destiny laughed, leaned into Ji-hoon. This is going to be chaos. He kissed her. I wouldn't have it any other way. Destiny looked at the camera, smiled. So, I stayed, chose love, and I'd do it again. But if you think this was crazy, she grinned. Wait until you see the wedding.
Okay, y'all. Your comments genuinely keep me up at night smiling. Please keep dropping ideas because the way y'all think is insane, in the best way. And disclaimer, do not watch this at work, especially if you're a 9-to-5. I love you, but I'm not paying your bills if your boss catches you. Thank you for the sweet comments. I read all of them, like full-on novels. I try to reply to as many as possible, but even when I don't reply, I promise I saw it. And a huge, huge thank you to everyone who sent super thanks. Your support means the world to me. Big thanks to @Red5CTDiamonds1 again, @Winoka Aboluhum 8756, and @GraceP1213. See you in part 4, if you want a part 4. Bye, in Destiny's voice.